Denkers and Klaus Hartmann for this opportunity to address this issue here in Frankfurt, having in mind that this issue is one of the most important for understanding the present moment in the world. Before starting, I will allow me take down my coat.
Das muss jetzt nicht übersetzen.
So the T-shirt I'm wearing is from protests in Belgrade, and the symbol was appeared in internet, and it says "Support to the friend." It means that for specific historical reasons, not only, or maybe not even in the first place because we passed a similar experience, but due to some special historical ties with Libya, I can say that vast majority of people in Serbia understand the essence of this war. I will try to make my speech short so that we can make a discussion after that, and I will structure it into 5 shorter points. First would be a few words about geopolitical background of this war. Second would be about its criminal character. Third would be about these special ties between Libya and Serbia. Fourth would be some words about the war itself. And fifth, some concluding remarks. So we can put first the question, what is behind this 19th century type colonial war? In let's say Libyan state propaganda, it is normal to call the so-called rebels rats.
Also in der libyschen Staatspropaganda ist es üblich, die sogenannten Rebellen Ratten zu nennen.
So I would start with some very free statement, and I hope that when I come to the conclusions, I can find it enough for you, and this paradigm can be broadened so that we are actually facing on global scale war between people and rats. Who would be the rats? The rats would be those who advocate liberal global financial system, and those who are ready to destroy every human achievement for money. If we see that the biggest Western governments are now following the interests and demands from financial oligarchy, we can say that in the way of its corporative character, what we are facing now is not less dangerous than Nazi fascism in the Second World War period. It is important to notice as well that the so-called war against terror or against terrorism, global war against terrorism, lasted exactly 10 years, at least in the form which was shaped originally. We were taught that the worst of all evils is Al-Qaeda, led by Osama bin Laden, and that this is excuse for all forms of militarization, restriction of human rights, imposing police state system, and so on. And now, again, after 10 years, Al-Qaeda is becoming an ally again, and it is apparent in Libyan case. So, since for about 10 years, whole world, including the most important, all most important governments, were fooled by this false concept, we have to speak today perhaps about new form of crime, because how else we can name if someone is spreading by his propaganda monopoly such a big lie that influences behavior of whole world, other than crime against truth. When I said that we are facing a 19th century type colonial war, I had in mind a very poor justification of that war by the Western governments, especially in comparison to the war against Yugoslavia. The 99 aggression against Yugoslavia had been prepared for about 10 years with all forms of propaganda, embargo, political, diplomatic, economic pressure, and so on. And this war had been prepared within few weeks. So its colonial character becomes apparent to everyone. I don't know who is today ready to buy the war propaganda of NATO in this case. When we are talking about the geopolitical background, I would like to emphasize two more points. One is the history of behavior, let's say, of the Anglo-American factor in the Arab world. I was a little surprised in early 90s when I visited some of Arab countries, and when I have seen that they are often talking about Anglo-Americans as about evil, and they are very rarely speaking about Nazi Germany in the Second